Is the U.S. economy on a tightrope? With inflation rates soaring to a 40-year high and the ripple effects of the war in Ukraine reverberating through global markets, the stability of the U.S. economy is being questioned. In this economic roller coaster, what might be the future of the U.S. economy? To understand the current scenario, we need to take a step back and look at the past. Take for instance the Great Recession of 2008. It was a period marked by a housing market crash, a financial crisis, and a severe global economic downturn. Or consider the early 90s recession, driven by a slump in the manufacturing sector and the Gulf War. Each downturn has its unique triggers, but they all share common elements: uncertainty, rapid changes, and a sense of anticipation about what might come next. Today, the U.S. economy is grappling with its own unique set of challenges. Inflation is at its highest in 4 decades, a direct consequence of the COVID-19 pandemic and the war in Ukraine. Supply chain disruptions and increased demand for goods are pushing prices higher. Energy and food prices in particular are feeling the heat of the conflict in Ukraine, but it's not just inflation that's causing concern. Retail sales, a vital indicator of economic health, have been lackluster. Consumers, faced with higher prices and tighter budgets, are pulling back on spending. This has put a strain on retailers, pushing some to the brink of closure or layoffs. Economists are divided about what lies ahead. Some are optimistic, believing the economy is robust enough to weather these storms. Others, however, see a recession on the horizon. The triggers: an escalation of the war in Ukraine, a continued rise in inflation, a sharp drop in consumer spending, or a potential financial crisis. Policymakers aren't standing idly by. The Federal Reserve has taken proactive steps, raising interest rates in an attempt to cool the economy and curb inflation. The Biden administration, too, is rolling out measures to support businesses and consumers, including tax cuts and subsidies. But the future of the U.S. economy remains uncertain. The challenges are substantial and the risk of a recession is real. Yet there are signs of resilience, and measures are being taken to mitigate the impact. The coming months will be critical in shaping the trajectory of the economy. To sum up, the U.S. economy is facing significant challenges, including a 40-year high inflation rate and weak retail sales. The war in Ukraine is adding to these pressures, and there's a risk of a recession. However, policymakers are taking steps to address these issues, and there are signs of economic resilience. The future is uncertain, but the next few months will be vital in determining the course of the U.S. economy.